Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Ari's Deep Dive on my brand new channel. So in this series, we are going to take a look through the Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine, and look at some interesting things from our childhood, and anything else that is interesting. We're going to take a look at different anime-related things, or manga-related things, and we're also going to look at cartoons from the 90s, the 2000s, kids shows, and any other interesting topics that come up, maybe related to music, possibly. If you have a topic suggestion you'd like me to research just for fun, or any lost media topic, is another thing that we'll be talking about on this series, please comment below and give me a suggestion of something that you'd like to see in this series. So, for the first topic on today's video, we are going to look at some obscure Inuyasha media. I decided to go with Inuyasha because it's a fairly popular series, but it also appeals to a lot of shoujo fans, which I know a lot of my audience on my main channel, That Kadocha Girl, are really big shoujo fans, so I wanted to take a look at some interesting things that I found while researching Inuyasha. So the first things I want to look at today are some old promo scans from 1996. So these were originally in a magazine. It didn't say on the website where it's from. I also found some other interesting scans on this website that I'm gonna play a little slideshow of here in a second, but it's pretty cool because when going through the Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine, I like to Google reverse image search these images that I find just to see if they're commonly posted images like that you'd see on Pinterest or Instagram. And a lot of these images that I found, just they aren't on the surface level web, which is another reason why I started this series, is because going through these rabbit holes, as I'd like to call them, I find so many things that we just don't see on the internet anymore. Like, it really shows you how, I guess, compacted and shallow our internet has become over time. Because when you really look through the Wayback Machine, you look at the way that old websites were, and just the way the internet was, the way it looked and how websites were formatted. I feel like there was just more information that these websites give out. And, with Google, we have the whole thing about you get 1 billion search results. Well, there's been a lot of research, and I've watched a lot of videos where they just find that Google is basically lying. And we don't get to see a lot of things from the past resurface, on a Google search. So if you search some of these things that I'm going to show you today, you might not be able to find them on Google. And that's the purpose of the series, is because I want to show things that we don't normally see that are really interesting, and I just want to show it off because it's cool. And, if you're a big hardcore Inuyasha fan, like, seeing these things is it's just a really interesting little window into the past. So here are some advertisements for different episodes of Inuyasha before they came out, showing off the characters that would be introduced in the series. Enjoy! the next thing we're going to take a look at that I found interesting, and I actually couldn't find any of these on eBay or listed anywhere on the internet currently, and I'm not sure if they're an actual item. If you can read Japanese, please let me know if I'm missing something here. But I happened to find an ad for these Inuyasha figures, and I was actually able to find, I believe, all of the ones featured here on eBay. However, the ones that you see down below that are like crystal or translucent, I was unable to find those, and I don't know if that's just they're showing what the material is that they're made out of and they were painted afterwards, or if these are supposed to be rare figures that were only made in a limited number. But I found these to be very interesting. And please let me know if you have these figures or you know somebody who does. I think it's pretty cool. So the next thing we're going to look at is just a fun little thing we're going to end with from the Inuyasha fan site here. And as always, I will link these fan sites below. These are all on the Internet Archive / Wayback Machine. So this is an Inuyasha drinking game. So something fun to play with your friends on the weekend, if you have nothing better to do. So let's take a look at some of these here. So take a drink every time Kagome screams Inuyasha. So you'd probably be drunk probably by the end of the first episode if you did that. Chug it if that person was or still is in love with her. So I'm assuming that they're talking about like Inuyasha and Kikyo. I love this one here. Take a drink every time Moroku asks a girl to bear his child. Down the whole bottle if the girl actually accepts. So was there ever a time when a girl accepted that? I don't think there was. I think there might have been one filler episode where, if I recall, there was a girl who did, but it was like a demon in disguise. Take a drink if Sango gets jealous. So that happens a lot as well. You know, that happens about the same time as Moroku asks a girl to bear his own child. So I feel like you'd be taking 2 drinks at that point. So yeah, I'll link this drinking game down below, and definitely take the time and maybe play it with your friends and see how trashed you all get watching Inuyasha. So that's it for the Inuyasha section of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And on to the next topic, which is going to be Courage the Cowardly Dog. So next up in the video today, we are going to talk about some interesting Courage the Cowardly Dog finds that I discovered when I was going through the Internet Archive and also the Wayback Machine. So I found a really cool Courage fan site that I'll link below that had a lot of interviews and of course merchandise page, which I always find the merchandise sections to be the most interesting sites that we look at when we do these deep dives. So the first thing I want to bring up here is there's some cool merchandise that I wasn't able to find listed on eBay or anything like that. So we have a Courage the Cowardly Dog hat. We also have a neat looking Courage the Cowardly Dog shirt. And we also have this Courage bean bag, which I thought was really cute. It looks really cozy. Maybe you could use it as a pillow or a headrest or something. I also found these fruit roll-up snacks, which really took me back. I think I actually had these at one point. Comment below if you've actually had these. So, of course, we have the Powerpuff Girls and Johnny Bravo featured as well. So, brief disclaimer before we go on. I choose these topics, I kind of did it at random for this first episode, because I'm at that experimenting phase, you know, in this new series I'm doing. But I wanted to choose things that I personally really like, because I feel like if I'm making something I'm not passionate about, then why do it, you know? And Courage the Cowardly Dog was like my favorite cartoon when I was a child. Yes, I was a very strange child, so... but I loved how weird and crazy that show would get sometimes with its episodes and its situations and characters, and I was definitely a Cartoon Network child, which is ironic considering that two of the other topics we're going to discuss today are actually Nickelodeon topics, but moving on. So here I have a mysterious picture that I found on one of these sites, and again, I will link all these sites below. I found this Courage the Cowardly Dog balloon, and I couldn't find any information about it, and it said it was taken somewhere in America, but I just don't think that's the case. I see a flag in the background. It's a red and white flag, and the only matching flag that I could find was for the country of Peru. So I don't know where this photograph was actually taken. Of course, I did my reverse image search and nothing came up for this photo except for the same site that I had found on the Wayback Machine. So I'd be interested to know what this was for, if this was promoting the show, if this was just some kind of Cartoon Network thing, or was it just a kids festival. I really don't know, but I'd love to know the origins of this photo. I think it's really interesting. And I wonder if this balloon is, obviously it's probably deflated somewhere, but does it still exist? Is it still functional? I know that's a really silly thing to say, but these are the things that come to mind when I'm looking at these images and researching these topics. Alright, so the last thing related to Courage I wanted to bring up, because I know it's a very popular topic in the lost media community, is we actually get an idea about one of the lost episodes of the television series JBVO, which is a lost series. I think only a few of the episodes have been found. And we actually get an idea about one of these episodes, the one that aired on April 23rd of 2000, of what this episode featured. So this episode featured the Courage episode, The Queen from the Black Lagoon, as it was requested on the show. So this was kind of like a talk show with Johnny Bravo, where he would like take in phone calls and people would request to see certain things from Cartoon Network. So it says here, for the record, Johnny Bravo called Courage a wimpy mutt. So I think it's really interesting that I happened to find this when I was looking through these fan sites for my video, because I actually wasn't expecting to stumble upon that. I know it's not a full episode, but we get an idea of, what that lost episode had. So I think that's really cool, and I wonder if any of the people who created this site maybe have a VHS copy of this episode. Who knows? On to the next topic. So our next topic today is the Nickelodeon cartoon Invader Zim. So I found some interesting things related to Invader Zim. Unfortunately, one of them not being the aforementioned lost CGI pilot episode, which I actually looked for a little bit when I was going through the Wayback Machine. Unfortunately, I was unable to locate it. And I think, according to the wiki, the pilot is actually unconfirmed. I have to go back and look again. But of course, I'll show some images of it here of what it was supposed to look like. And of course, I'll link the wiki article below as well. So I found a lot of interesting things when I was going through different Invader Zim sites. In fact, I think this was probably the most extensive topic in today's video. I found a lot of different things that were just little obscurities that I didn't really think of when I started researching this topic. So of course I found some rare storyboards, and a few of these have surfaced on sites like Pinterest when I did my reverse image search. But I also found some other storyboards that weren't featured anywhere on the surface web, so of course I will show these here. So another thing I wanted to show off was I actually somehow ended up on the website, a very, very early website for the person who does the voice of Gur. His name is Ricky Simmons, or Simons, I believe, and I actually found this, I mean, it's a really old website. It's like from the 90s, early 2000s, like even before Invader Zim really became a thing. And there's a lot of old artwork created by Ricky on here, which I thought was very neat. It's kind of in the same vein as the Invader Zim show. It's like this combination of goth and sci-fi, but Ricky's artwork seems to be a little less cartoony. And the last thing that I'd like to mention when going through these Invader Zim sites, I actually found a site that had a list of celebrity cameos that appeared on the show, which I had no idea when I watched it. I actually watched Invader Zim for the first time all the way through recently. My husband's a huge fan. And apparently, 2 of the celebrity cameos or appearances that I wanted to show off today. So apparently Britney Spears was actually on Invader Zim, and Christina Aguilera. Very random. And also there was a Chris Farley cameo as well. So again, I can't confirm this. This is from these fan sites, and these are supposedly these celebrities. As far as I know, I think Chris Farley had passed away before that. So I think this was just, I guess, nods from the creators of these celebrities in their show. So yeah, I will link all the Invader Zim goodies down below, so please enjoy all these interesting finds. And on to our last topic of the video, which is also another Nickelodeon topic, and also the topic I found to be the most interesting out of all today, which is going to be Amanda Bynes and The Amanda Show. So our last topic today is Amanda Bynes and The Amanda Show. Amanda was probably my favorite actress when I was growing up. I would never miss any of her movies. When her TV show was airing, I was a bit young to watch it, so I watched a lot of The Amanda Show in reruns. So by the time I got around to it, it had already been canceled. But I absolutely adore her still. But I found some interesting content when I was going through her fan sites and her old website that she had when she was up and coming, like around the time she was shooting the movie Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz. Great movie. I stumbled upon a fan site, probably the most comprehensive one. I believe it was called Amanda Bynes Girls Rock or Girls Kick Butt. Like I said, I'll link all these things below. And I found some images of these promos for The Amanda Show before it aired on TV. So I believe these promos are from fall 1999, and I could only locate 2 of these. So I believe there's 5 in total, from what I could see on this website. The 2 that I will play in this video is one where she's wearing a beehive on her head, and then there's another where she's dressed up as a strawberry tap dancing. However, there are 3 other ones that I was unable to find. I believe one features the character Penelope Taint, which was Amanda's #1 fan in the TV show. And then there's 2 others, and one seems to feature somebody in a rabbit or a gopher suit or something. And then there's another one where she's got a megaphone, which you can probably see it in the thumbnail. And there's like a surgeon behind her. So I'm not sure the contents of these commercials. But these promos, as far as I know, are lost to time. There was at one point a way to download them from this website, but unfortunately I was unable to download them. I don't think the download links were saved. But if anybody knows if you can somehow get these files off of this site, that'd be awesome, because I think it's really cool and really important to preserve this media. I know to some people it might sound silly, but it's part of our history and a part of our past, and I think saving these things is important for humanity as a whole. And the last thing I want to talk about is, as I was going through these sites, I was reading up on, Amanda's work history at that point. She was in a lot of these websites, because I was looking between the years of 1999, 2000, 2001, when she was an up-and-coming actress. And I found a cartoon, or a voice credit for a cartoon called The Day I Saved America, where she played a character named Harriet who helps George Washington in the Revolutionary War. And this cartoon, I cannot find it anywhere. This cartoon was supposedly a web cartoon. It was featured on the website Rumpus, which Rumpus was a toy company that is now defunct. And however, the remnants of this cartoon still exist online. I was able to track down on eBay a doll for the character that Amanda played, Harriet. So I'll post that picture here, as you can see. Here's the doll. So that was about it for the Amanda Bynes content. A lot of this stuff was lost. I was surprised at how much was lost here. And I'd also like to mention, there's supposedly a lost pilot for the Amanda show as well. That was supposed to be a totally different style. It wasn't sketch comedy at all. It was more of a sitcom type show. So it'd be really cool to see some of this stuff surface. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for this series moving forward, please let me know. If you'd like the videos to be more scripted, I will certainly keep that in mind. Going forward. Like I said, I like to kind of just keep these chill and fun and lighthearted, and just kind of reminisce and put on our nostalgia goggles for however long this video is going to end up being, probably an hour. I'm not sure. I haven't checked yet. I haven't edited yet. I'm just talking. But if you like what you see, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it around, and please leave suggestions below. And also, if you have any topics that you'd like me to do an entire video on, I'm open to doing maybe just one lost media topic video that would be more scripted. Like I said, this channel is just an experiment right now, seeing where we can go with it. But the main focus of the channel is just going to be having fun, looking at old stuff that makes us feel good. Because I feel like there's not a lot of things in this world that, make us feel good and warm and fuzzy on the inside. And that's why I created this channel, because I want to bring that feeling that I had looking through all these old things to the people watching this video. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. See you later!